So I'm over on Twitter where I'm not supposed to be, and this guy brought up the idea that only 1.6% of white people own slaves, and that's very interesting. And I guess that was his way of saying that, oh, not everybody was racist, but my biggest argument is this: if everybody wasn't racist, how come abolition was never put on a ballot? How come no one could ever put it to a vote? But I have some other grievances that included slavery. Number one, there was a rental program for slaves. They could loan out slaves. They did it for companies, they did it for mining, construction, all kind of skilled labor, even to citizens. So yes, other people used slaves, no matter if they owned them or not. Number two, the Three-Fifths Compromise. A lot more people are familiar with this one. That's when every male slave was counted as three-fifths of a person in the census, which was calculated in how many representatives they could have for their state. So congratulations, because these people who were not considered citizens or people for that matter, um, because they existed, they had better representation in the South. They literally politically helped shape the South. Number three, chattel mortgages. This is crazy, but slaves were used as collateral for real estate loans, which is ridiculous to me because if something happens to the slave, like, do they lose value over time as they get older? Like, it didn't make sense. But it really lets you know how much they dehumanized slaves into just being a commodity and a product, which also means that the banks and financial institutions were in on it too. The 1850 Fugitive Slave Act, I need y'all to lock in on this one. This Slave Act basically said that all law enforcement of any state inside of the Union, didn't matter who it was, they were obligated to participate in the reclamation of an escaped slave. However, this is the other thing that made sure every citizen was included. If you were caught aiding a slave in their escape or accused of it, you were fined like $1,000. And back then, 1850, a band was like $250,000 back then. So you were incentivized because they also offered rewards for finding these slaves, but also you were kind of forced into participating in hunting down escaped slaves. And last but certainly not least, the Civil War. You know what the Civil War was about? States' rights to be able to establish and expand slavery into Western territories. It was still about slavery, people. Thousands of people fought a war in order to create a whole nother country just to be able to keep their slaves. People participated in that war. People that did not own slaves participated in that war. What does that tell you? They created laws, they created social agreements, they actually had a war to keep all black people subjugated. And again, if nobody was racist, apparently, which is what I'm assuming, this whole 1.6% of white people, they were the only ones that owned slaves. I guess that was trying to, shoot that whole population some bail. But my thing is, you got to understand that there was an ecosystem created to keep black people as slaves. Nobody gets off clean. Okay? Can we end this conversation now?